Imagine this. You're at school, you're at work, maybe you're at home making dinner, and then poof, in an instant, everything just stops. The lights, the trains, the heat, it all goes dark. So, what happens when the massive systems we all depend on just fail? Let's talk about one of the biggest power outages in history. So, this is what it looks like. One moment, you've got the familiar buzzing glow of New York City, and the next, you have this just an eerie, silent darkness that stretched way beyond that famous skyline. And this wasn't some quick flicker. Oh no. This was a total shutdown that caught millions of people completely off guard. And the scale here, it's just staggering. We are not talking about a single neighborhood or even one city. This single blackout hit 30 million people. Think about that for a second. That is a huge chunk of the population, suddenly and completely cut off from pretty much everything they rely on to live their daily lives. Okay, so here are the basic facts. The power went out at 7 p.m. sharp, and for the next 13 hours, a massive area stretching from New York all the way up into Canada was plunged into darkness. No electricity meant no light, no heat, and as we're about to see, absolutely no easy way to get anywhere. But, behind those huge numbers are millions of individual stories, moments where normal, everyday life just came to a screeching halt. So let's zoom in a bit and see what this actually felt like for the people on the ground. Picture this. You're at the Thomas Jefferson School, and students are rehearsing for a big concert. 11-year-old Loretta Green is right in the middle of singing her heart out. And then boom, total sudden darkness. A moment of joy and performance just instantly turned into pure confusion. And that disruption hit people right where it hurts, at home. Take Martha Miller. She's just trying to make some soup for her family, and suddenly her electric stove is just a useless piece of metal. So what's for dinner? Biscuits. And all the while, the house is getting colder and colder because, you guessed it, the heating was out too. Now, as bad as being stuck at home was, trying to get home was a whole other level of nightmare. The blackout didn't just turn off the lights in buildings, it brought the entire transportation network of a major city to a grinding absolute halt. And this quote, wow, it really captures the panic of that moment. For 12-year-old Natasha Spendak, her regular commute home turned into something out of a horror movie. The train car goes dark, someone screams, and then the train just stops, dead, trapping everyone inside a pitch-black tunnel. You can just imagine the fear. And there was really no escape. If you were underground, trains were dead in their tracks. But up on the streets, it was just as bad. According to one police officer, with no moon out that night, Times Square, literally one of the brightest places on Earth, was absolutely pitch black. Traffic lights were out, causing total gridlock. So many people just gave up, abandoned their cars right in the street, and started walking home. As you can probably guess, this level of chaos put a massive strain on all the emergency services. But amidst all the very real, very serious problems, one of the strangest and honestly most memorable stories of the night was just starting to unfold over at the New York Zoo. And this had very real consequences for people's safety. The ambulance service reported a huge spike in injuries, broken arms, broken legs, all from bad traffic accidents caused by the failed lights. You can bet the hospitals were completely slammed all night long trying to deal with the fallout. But even as the city's human residents were struggling, some of its animal residents were, well, about to have an adventure of their own. And it led to one of the most bizarre incidents of the entire night. You really can't make this stuff up. The lights went out right at feeding time. In all the confusion and darkness, a keeper just forgot to lock one of the gates. The result? An elephant decided to take a little stroll. It left the zoo and walked all the way down the road to a local supermarket. Thankfully, the story does have a happy ending. The elephant was eventually found and safely brought back home. So after 13 hours of complete chaos, with trapped commuters, cold dinners, and yes, one wandering elephant, the biggest question on everyone's mind was, how in the world did this happen? Well, the answer is almost unbelievable. I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. What could possibly knock out power for 30 million people across 2 countries? It's got to be something huge, right? A major equipment meltdown, a cyber attack, a natural disaster? The reality was so much smaller. And there you have it, a squirrel,
Seriously, according to New York Power, one single squirrel jumped onto the power lines, which triggered a cascading failure that just rippled through the entire grid and shut everything down. It is a shocking reminder of just how fragile our complex world can sometimes be.
So what can you possibly say after your entire multi-billion-dollar power grid has been taken out by a small, furry rodent? Well, John Metlock from New York Power summed it up pretty well. He simply said they were very embarrassed and very sorry. I think that might be the understatement of this century. And that really leaves us with this final thought. We all live inside these incredibly complex, interconnected systems, from power grids to supply chains. And if one little squirrel can bring a huge part of a continent to its knees, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other tiny, unforeseen weak spots are just lurking out there in the systems we all take for granted every single day?